You're watching Q News, and we start with the latest updates in Egypt. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has stated that over 100 delegations participated in the Cairo Ministerial Conference on strengthening humanitarian response in Gaza. Abdulati noted that participants included countries, UN agencies, NGOs and financial institutions. Egypt's Foreign Minister stated that discussions focused on increasing humanitarian aid to Gaza with an emphasis on ensuring its effective and sustainable delivery. Abdulati also reiterated Egypt's commitment to a ceasefire, support for the rights of the State of Palestine and facilitating humanitarian access. He highlighted Egypt's significant role in providing aid and medical assistance since the war began. Egypt and China have marked the 10th anniversary of the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. This came as Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati met with China's Middle East envoy and head of the Chinese delegation at the Cairo conference. Abdulati emphasized the strong ties between Egypt and China and praised Chinese investments and cooperation, underscoring Egypt's commitment to expanding these relations. Abdulati also appreciated China's support for Palestine and Egypt's efforts for a Gaza ceasefire and humanitarian aid. Egyptian Foreign Minister looks forward to celebrating 60 years of diplomacy in 2026 with Singapore. This came as the foreign ministers of Egypt and Singapore praised their bilateral relations during a meeting at the Cairo conference. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati emphasized the importance of boosting trade, investment and cultural cooperation. He also discussed Egypt's diplomatic efforts for a Gaza ceasefire and acknowledged Singapore's humanitarian aid to Palestine. Egypt's and Japan's foreign ministers have highlighted the two countries' strategic ties. This development came as Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati met with his Japanese counterpart during the Cairo conference on Gaza. The Egyptian Foreign Minister proposed holding a joint investment conference to deepen economic collaboration. In addressing regional issues, Abdulati outlined Egypt's diplomatic efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and ensure humanitarian aid access. He emphasized the urgent need for global unity to address the severe humanitarian crisis in Palestine and bring an end to the ongoing conflict. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has urged enhancing cooperation in trade, energy, education and trilateral African projects with Canada. This development came as Abdulati met with the parliamentary secretary to the Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs during the Gaza conference, where they highlighted the strong ties between Egypt and Canada. Abdulati emphasized the importance of regional stability through continued coordination. The meeting reinforced their shared goals for development and peace in the region. Regarding Gaza, Abdulati stressed Egypt's efforts to secure a ceasefire, coordinate international humanitarian aid, and ensure unrestricted assistance to civilians. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati stressed Egypt's focus on renewable energy collaboration during his meeting with German counterpart Tobias Lindner. Abdulati praised Egypt-Germany relations, highlighting Germany as a key economic partner with major companies involved in national projects. Regarding Gaza, Abdulati outlined Egypt's efforts for an immediate ceasefire and called on the global community to increase humanitarian aid and ensure its unconditional delivery. The two counterparts met during the Cairo conference on Gaza. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati praised the positive developments in Egypt-Malaysia relations during his meeting with Malaysia's Deputy Foreign Minister Muhammad Amin. This took place during the Cairo Ministerial Conference, where Abdulati highlighted the Malaysian Prime Minister's visit to Egypt in November 2024. He emphasized strengthening economic ties, promoting investments, and enhancing trade. Both sides also discussed regional developments, with Abdulati thanking Malaysia for its support of Palestine and its humanitarian aid to Gaza. The foreign ministers of Egypt and Colombia addressed the situation in the Middle East, emphasizing the need for de-escalation. This came as the two foreign ministers met during the ministerial conference on enhancing humanitarian response in Gaza. Egypt's foreign minister Badr Abdulati emphasized the urgent need for international support for Palestinians and unrestricted humanitarian aid access. They also agreed on strengthening economic ties, particularly in trade, energy and agriculture, following high-level visits, including the First Lady's visit to Egypt in November. Tourism Minister Sharif Fathi expects tourist numbers to reach 15.3 million by the end of the year. While growth of over 10% was initially expected, he noted that a 3 to 5% increase would still be a positive outcome given the current geopolitical challenges. Fathi added that Egypt aims to attract 30 million tourists to secure its fair share of global tourism. In 2023, Egypt welcomed 14.9 million tourists, generating $14 billion in revenue, with modest growth despite the ongoing geopolitical situation. The No Illiteracy with Takaful initiative led by Minister Maya Morsi aims to eradicate illiteracy among beneficiaries of Takaful and Karama. By July 2024, the program had educated 257,000 women through 10,500 classes nationwide. It collaborates with the General Authority for Adult Education and trains instructors to deliver specialized lessons, engaging community leaders and volunteers. Chairman of the Nuclear Power Plants Authority, Dr. Amgad Al-Wakil, has emphasized that Egypt Vision 2030 aligns with the principles of comprehensive, sustainable development encompassing economic, social and environmental dimensions. He highlighted that energy forms the backbone of achieving this vision, driving development across economic and social sectors while reinforcing national security. The state's ability to meet energy demands is crucial for implementing sustainable development plans. The head of the National Council for Childhood and Motherhood, Dr. Sahar Is-Sumbati, has outlined efforts to empower and include all children, including those with disabilities. Speaking at the National Efforts to Address Disability Issues Conference on International Day for Persons with Disabilities, she emphasized initiatives to empower girls and integrate children with disabilities. She also highlighted educational camps focused on skill development and fostering happiness. The technical advisor to the Minister of Social Solidarity for Disability Affairs, Maha El-Hilali, represented Minister Maya Morsi at the annual Arab conference hosted by the Nida Association, themed Modern Approaches in Special Education for Early Childhood Development. Hilali reiterated the ministry's commitment to highlighting the talents and potential of persons with disabilities, advocating for equality and social justice. She emphasized the importance of early intervention programs and special education in supporting children with disabilities, underscoring the crucial role of family involvement in maximizing their growth and learning potential. The Information and Decision Support Center of the Egyptian Cabinet has highlighted Egypt's ranking in the 2025 Global Climate Performance Index, where it placed 20th out of 63 countries with a score of 60.52, up from 22nd in 2024. Egypt ranked second in the Arab world and Africa, behind Morocco. The index evaluates countries' climate change policies, assessing greenhouse gas reduction 40%, renewable energy use 20%, energy efficiency 20%, and climate policies 20%. Scores range from 0 to 100, with higher scores reflecting stronger performance in addressing climate change. The Central Bank of Egypt has approved an agreement to join the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System to enhance regional banking relations and strengthen economic collaboration with Africa. The payment system, which is developed by the African Export-Import Bank, facilitates cross-border payments and trade transactions, reducing both costs and processing times. Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Rami Abu Nega, stated that the bank's participation in the new system reflects Egypt's commitment to enhancing commercial and economic ties with countries worldwide and with African nations. The 9th edition of the Food Africa, Fresh Africa and Pack Process exhibitions has kicked off at the Egypt International Exhibition Center, running from December 3rd to 5th. Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade Hassan Al-Khatib noted that Egypt's food industry exports reached $4.6 billion by the end of September 2024, marking an 18% growth compared to $3.9 billion during the same period in 2023. The exhibitions, which features 1,018 companies from 39 countries, covers sectors such as food industries, agriculture products, packaging and food processing machinery. Egypt's non-oil exports grows to approximately $33.35 billion during the first 10 months of 2024. Non-oil exports grew by 12.2% by the end of October, expressing optimism about maintaining this positive growth trend through the end of the year. By the end of September, non-oil exports reached $29.713 billion. According to Egypt's Ministry of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation, the House of Representatives approved a memorandum of understanding regarding a macroeconomic support mechanism and budget assistance between Egypt and the EU amounting to €1 billion. This funding is part of a €7.4 billion financial package announced during the Egypt-EU summit in March, attended by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The European Union aims to use this funding to support Egypt's economic stability, enhance investment and trade, and implement structural reforms that stimulate the private sector and support green transition efforts. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here's what we have been covering. Egypt's foreign minister announces 100-plus delegations at Cairo-Gaza Aid Conference. Egypt's tourism minister anticipates 15.3 million tourists this year. And Egypt joins the Pan-African payment system to strengthen regional economic ties. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments.